Welcome everyone to Real Estate with Gwen Price, and this is our monthly market update. And I'm with Lana Watier, my broker of record with Keystone Real Estate, and Trina Tallon from Neighbourhood Dominion Lending. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Great to see you.
Yeah.
Next month, we should do this on a patio next month.
Well, we should. And I was admiring Lana's tan there, and here I am, my ghostly white. I slather up with sunblock. So this is the way I look all year round. I never get a tan. So I'm always envious of those that do. Looks great. So what's been happening? I'll just give a quick update about the stats. Basically, in the last 3 months, our average sale price has been staying fairly flat, around the 380, 390 for the city of Greater Sudbury. And but listings are up 40% from last year. Sales are up 62% from last year, and the average sale price is up about 16% from last year.
Wow.
So, and yeah, everything that's getting listed pretty much is selling because 82% of the listings have sold this year, and last year it was about 71%. So still a lot of activity, lots of buyers still. I'm looking on my board here right now that my list of buyers has increased, and the problem is there's still not enough for the number of buyers that are looking.
I just moved my pile of files that were sitting behind me so that they weren't in the video of pre-approvals.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there still are a lot of people looking, and even though our listings are actually up, they are being snapped up. Now, I've noticed that some properties are still going in multiple offers, but we are getting some that are list price or below. So those sales are still happening. They're more common in the recent month. So, it is changing a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I look at the stats, it says 106% of what something is listed is what it's on average is selling for. But you're right, when I look at the hot sheets on a daily basis, it's almost 50-50 where it's, that they are going over and they're not. So maybe we have reached our plateau. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. A lot of it is what's going to happen with COVID, what's going to happen, with the kids going back to school, what's happening with the strike. And so, the strike's going on a bit longer than I think some people thought, but I don't know. It's, I wish I had a crystal ball. The one I have is rusty. I need a new one.
It's definitely keeping us on our toes. One thing I wanted to mention that has started to affect people purchasing homes is that a lot of folks did not get their pre-approvals redone after the benchmark rate was increased. So I had a couple last week that were in the $400,000 range, earned about $70,000 a year, and their pre-approval decreased by $20,000.
Ooh, that's significant in this market, really, because that makes the difference for sure.
So yeah, any pre-approvals before June 1st, if you haven't reached out to your lender, your mortgage agent, then make sure you do that to update your pre-approval. Because the other thing that went on too is that in July, that's when child care benefit allowances get updated as to whether or not they stay the same, increase, decrease. So if CCB was being used in your pre-approval and that's gone down, that's going to affect your purchasing power as well.
Oh, wow.
Lana's gone to make the puppies be quiet.
Yeah. Well, mine's upstairs, and so far all I can hear is them chewing on something. But anyway, that's always the joys of doing Zoom, eh? Yeah, I mean, and I keep drilling it into my clients' heads. Like, if you haven't got a pre-approval, you cannot be really going out and looking at houses. It's just too it's too competitive for a market for that, and you have to have all of that in place because the requirements that the banks need, everything has to be documented, and that's sometimes, I mean, how is it going with employer letters and things like that? I know it was a pretty big struggle sometimes to get some of these companies to give proof of things, right?
Well, a lot of employers have no problems writing the letters, because a lot of the big ones, it's just a template, right? Like the employees log into their online employment portal and they pump out a letter. The problem is lenders are having difficulties getting a hold of the employers to verify the letters.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of us having to get involved back to our clients saying, call whoever wrote this letter and tell them to call these people back or you're not going to close.
Yeah, no. And the other thing, like appraisals, there's still so many, because it keeps coming up time and time again. And, and it's taking time to get those appraisals done, because it's not just purchases of houses, it's refinancing. And so the appraisers are going a bit crazy. So if we run into problems with people putting unconditional offers in and then an appraisal has to be done and it's after the fact.
What's still kind of shocking to me are the short closings with we're dealing with elevated prices, changes to mortgage benchmark rates, changes to income based on if you're using childcare benefit. A lot has gone on in the last few months, and we're still getting like 3 week closings with people putting 20% down. And if the lender doesn't have it in their system that house qualifies for the purchase price, then we need an appraisal done. And I have to beg to get an appraiser in.
Yeah.
And that's I would have to say that's the most challenging part right now for me on the lending side of things, and for a lot of other lenders. And I have excellent relationships with a few appraisers out there, and they're just saying, Trina, we need time off. So
that's not allowed.
They want to take, people want to take some vacation.
Yeah.
So that limits our number of appraisers that we can get. And the second thing is that it's just, there's no time. And I tell people, if you're on the outskirts of Sudbury, it's going to take that much longer.
Yeah.
And by outskirts, I mean Garson, Zilda,
okay.
like Valcarin.
Wow.
Because all of our appraisers are in town, and it's taking time away from them because they have to visit the site. Even with the COVID rules that they don't have to go, or it's optional for them to go inside if the people are not comfortable with them going inside, and the realtor or the seller takes all the internal photos, appraisers still have to go and do a site inspection.
Make sure there's a building there.
Make sure the building's there. They have to measure the building, take the photos of the street views and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's all time. And I think that a lot of people, not just them, we're getting tired a little bit, because there's so much. And, folks I feel are like less and less patient now, because everyone's just had enough kind of thing. So,
definitely.
But we're on the upswing. I feel good. I feel like things have slowed down a little bit in the last couple of weeks.
I'm seeing that as well. I think things have slowed down in a lot of areas. I'm not saying blanket across the board, but in a lot of areas things have slowed down, and they need to slow down. The market can't continue at this pace and at this ferocity for very much longer, because it's just not realistically sustainable. I mean, you're right. Everybody does need time off to recharge and get their stuff together. And traditionally, July has always been the month where people have slowed down. Like, school is out in normal times. School gets let out at the end of June, and then everybody takes July and they take their families and they go on vacation, right? So and so we're seeing that a little bit now. maybe it's staycations, maybe they're doing whatever, but people are, July has followed its tradition and did slow, I believe this year as well. So, and it needs to, and we need to get things back to a reasonable pace so that not only are lenders not pressured and appraisers not pressured, but buyers are not pressured into making big decisions and spending money that they normally wouldn't consider spending. So I think it's a good thing. The slowdown is good. I would much rather prefer a balanced market than an aggressive seller's market.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate the pressure that people are under, I mean, yeah, it's been great for sellers, but it's great for sellers as long as they have a place to go too, because they're in the same position as all the other buyers if they haven't locked in on another, where are they going? Yeah, you sell your house, but then what? Yeah, so you have to have plan A and B and maybe C sometimes. But no, I agree. I'm anxious for things to kind of calm down, and I think that's you can sort of see it just with the fact that the prices aren't drastically rising every month. It's for the last 3 months. So,
well, I could tell that things had kind of settled down, actually more than usual, because my street in the South End has been on fire.
Literally,
with houses for sale, and like hugely elevated. Like I'm just like going, there's no way I would have spent more than 280,000 on that, and it went for over 400.
Yeah.
So this came up a couple of weeks ago for over 400. Same thought process in my mind, because sometimes I'm old school and go, wait a minute, why is that so much money? And it's been sitting there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
No, the market is changing. The market is softening, and market is changing for sure.
Yeah. Certain things are still a hot commodity because I mean there's that price range, like the 250 to 400 there, that's still getting a lot of activity, but it has to be priced where it's going to be an attractive, at least to hook somebody in that they want to even write an offer, right? So anyway, but I mean, again, I always feel positive about what's going on in Sudbury. We're a pretty good place to live when you think about, so many other places are struggling, maybe not so much with their economy, but just their climate right now. I'm happy where I am.
Sudbury is a great place to live. There's always something fun to do here, Fun Sudbury. So we do have a lot to offer, and it's probably one of the most active communities I would find in comparison to a lot of other cities that are of the same size. We do have so much to offer, the lakes, the waterfronts, the activities that go on here. Maybe not so much right now because of COVID, but everything is coming back. I'm hoping that by this time next year, all the festivals will be back. Anderson Farm will be back running, Northern Lights Festival, everything will be back. And we have such great things to offer that it is a great place to live. And we still have a very reasonable house values here where you can get properties for a reasonable amount of money in comparison to a lot of other centers. So move to Sudbury. It's awesome.
Well,
don't tell them that, Lana.
Well, because I just received an email yesterday talking about the average sale price in Toronto now is just over the million, and and we're just under 400,000 still. So that's a pretty big difference. You can get a pretty nice house here. So thank you again, ladies. It's always fun with you guys, and we'll just keep plugging away and enjoying Sudbury, and we'll see what happens. Because we are starting to see a shift in things, but you never know, right?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
You too.
See you
Thanks.
later.
We'll see you.
Bye.